Woo! What's going on, guys? Orum's Forum coming at you guys today on a Friday night. Mark Orum, Orum's Forum. We got all kinds of weird shit going on in the background here. The Orum's Den. I haven't done one of these in a while, guys. We'll get to it. The background's kind of all jacked up. You can only really see me. You can see maybe a different aura. Do you see that stuff? See that stuff going on right there? That's a little bit weird right there. I got to mess with my resolutions or whatever. I got to check my settings. I'm not going to do it right now. So, you can see a little bit in the corner here. You can see the green screen kind of popping up. I got a green screen back here. So I got to figure that out. I'm not going to do it right now. So it's going to be a little sloppy. I appreciate everybody coming in, man. We don't have a lot of people on deck. Only a couple of guys in here. But I appreciate everybody coming in on Friday. Come check me out later on. If you got to watch it on the repeat, that's just as good. It doesn't matter. But let's say hi to some guys. Only two guys in the building right now. My boy, JDC. Hi, all. Like that avatar. Loving it, bro. Donkey Kong. Super Bowl or bust. Woo. F the Booner Path. Okay. F the Booner Path. I don't know what that means, the Booner Path. But let's get on board with it. But yeah, you can't really see a lot of things, you can see that beer can there. I do have a microphone right here, but you can't see it, only a little bit. I gotta have to figure out the settings, but that's okay as long as you can hear me. There's only a couple of you probably in here right now. 4 of you right here in the chat. Can you all hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Someone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Dom the Bandit in the building. Woo, what's up, Mark? Glad you're doing a stream tonight. Yeah, man, I haven't done one in a long time. I got to start doing these more on the regular. I say it all the time, and I never pull through. It's always something. Always something is in always something that blocks me from doing a stream. But yeah. But I'm gonna try to do these. Like I said, I'm gonna try and do these more. I'm just never on cue with all this stuff. Dom the Bandit, I hear you. You hear you, bro. You're the best, buddy. All good, man. That's cool, but you guys can hear me. I appreciate it, man. So, hey, guys, got a big game coming up this Sunday. 4:25 start. Canadian Thanksgiving over here, by the way. Well, it's not until the Sunday or the Monday. It's officially the Monday. But, just like everybody, we do the dinners usually on Saturday or Sunday. I'm doing some things on Saturday and Sunday. And I'm going to try to catch that game. I'm at my mother-in-law's on Sunday. I'm going to have to sneak in a laptop to watch that game because I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the TV, which is fine. But I'm not going to miss that football game, even though I will be eating during that game just as it starts. So I'm going to miss probably the first half of that first quarter at least. But this is a huge game, man. Detroit Lions coming in this game, revenge game if you want to call it the revenge game. 3-2. We're coming in. The Cowboys are 3-2. We're 3-1. We're 3-1, and another big NFC matchup on the horizon. Revenge game, like I said. We haven't beat the Cowboys, I think, in Dallas, and it feels like I think it's been something like a long time. It's been 6-7 years, something like that, maybe longer. I think the last 6 times we played Dallas in Dallas, we've lost. So. We seem to play these guys every year. It feels like we play Dallas every year. You guys know what happened last year. The Decker, he reported, he didn't report. Going for 2, blame it on Campbell, blame it on refs, blame it on everybody. Bottom line, man, you got to beat these guys. You got to beat the Dallas Cowboys. You got to find a way. And I think we're a better football team than the Dallas Cowboys. I think their Cowboys are still the Cowboys, and they're always going to be in it. They've got some unfortunate things going on with injuries. A lot of guys hurt. A lot of defensive players hurt. Micah Parsons isn't going to be playing. Linebacker Eric Kendricks. If you're a Lions fan, you know who that guy is, man. That guy brings up PTSD from the Minnesota Vikings days. He's been around for a long time. He's out. Parsons out, like I said. DeMarcus Lawrence, one of their really good pass rushing defensive ends, out for the game. They got a couple corners that are usually all pro. They haven't really played together. I don't know if they've even been on the same field at the same time, and that's Diggs, and that's Bland for the Dallas Cowboys. That's two guys that take a lot of chances, that get a lot of picks, and I don't think they've played together at all, because I know Bland was a rookie last year. I forget the scenario, but Diggs got hurt last year. Diggs been hurt this year. Bland's been hurt this year. They're both supposed to be playing tomorrow. I know they were both on the injury report. I wrote out my video. I'm probably going to do my video a little bit later on. But look at that. See, you can see that green stuff. You see the green screen, man. I'm all over the place. So it's all jacked up. But the reports are out there. Injury reports out there. I got one arm, guys. So bear with me. No. Defense. Let's look at this Cowboys injury report. Okay, Diggs got an illness and an ankle injury. Limited practice, but it looks like he's going. Then Darren Bland, I don't know what his injury was. I know he's been hurt. He didn't practice today, but he's questionable. So probably be testing whatever's ailing him. I don't know what's wrong with Darren Bland. But those are two stud cornerbacks, two studs. And Micah Parsons, they're all pro rush end, outside linebacker. Ankle injury, got hurt a couple weeks ago. Didn't play last week. Out for this game. Eric Kendricks out for this game. So, even Kalen Carson is another young guy, corner. I think he might even be a rookie. But don't quote me on that. He's even banged up, but he was a full practice. And then guys like Nick Vigil, a linebacker, foot, didn't practice today. Could be a guy that, who's questionable, going to have to test out that ankle or that foot, whatever it was. And then guys like, rookie Tyler Guyton had an ankle. He was a full go today too, though. So, but, a lot of their guys on offense are going, even though guys like Brandon Cooks, who else on the IR? Brandon Cooks on the IR. Another rookie they had, the defensive end, Marshawn Nealon, DeMarcus Lawrence, IR guys, man. So, I think we're favored by 3.5. Don't care about the favoritism. Don't care about that. Just win the damn football game. That's all I want, man. There shouldn't be any excuses why we lose this game, though. There shouldn't be. And like I said, I got buddies, man, that are Cowboys fans. I'm sweating like a dog down there. I got Cowboy fans as buddies. My one buddy, man, he likes to razz me. He gets to get all over me. He's like, "You're frauds if you don't beat us Sunday." I'm like, all right, man. I'll play your game. I'll play your game, man. You want to call us frauds? That's fine. I go, it's always a tough game. Nothing's easy in the NFL. We've been down this road where we were supposed to beat team by 15, 2 scores, and we ended up winning by 6 or 7, not even 3 points. And vice versa. Teams were supposed to beat us by 7, 10 points, and we ended up winning, or we ended up, making it close. Football is a tough sport, man. It's not a sport where, injuries do matter. I'm not going to say injuries don't matter, but it's always the next man up mentality. It's that for every single sport, but I just find it's really, really important when it comes down to football, because it's all about depth. You got to have good depth if you want to be good, man. Because these Cowboys 3-2. You look at that roster right now; it's decimated. You would think, how is this team 3-2? Because of the Cowboys. We hate on the Cowboys. We don't like the Cowboys. We destroy the Cowboys verbally. We make fun of their fans. We make fun of that team. They're always in it. And I know they haven't done shit in a long time. They haven't done anything in a long, long time. I don't think they've won their division or an NFC championship game in a long time. They haven't been to the Super Bowl in a long time, but they're always in it. They're always that team that's going to be in it, and they just never go away. It seems like they never really go away. You don't see too many bad Cowboys teams. I'm 51 years old, man. 51 years old, and I haven't seen many bad Cowboys teams. I really haven't, even in their dark years. You know what I mean? Even in their bad years where they weren't making the playoffs on the regular, but they always seem to make the playoffs. I I can't tell you right now. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I can't tell you when they've gone through a really bad stretch. I'm sure it's happened. I can tell you about the Lions' bad stretch, but when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, they just always seem to be in it, man. Always. So it's just, it's any given Sunday, next man up mentality. They got a lot of banged up individuals on that squad, especially the defense. But they're going to be in it, man. Like, they're going to be in it to the end. It's not going to be a game where I think we destroy them, and a lot of people think we are. It'd be nice if we did. It'd be nice if I can sit back. We had that a couple times last year in a couple of games where it was one of those, like, I'm not even worried about this football game, healthy or not healthy. You know what I mean? It was just one of those. There's a couple times last year where I was like, we're gonna win this game, even when we had, some hiccups and stuff in the second half, which we tend to do a lot. Last year there was a lot of comfortable games. I thought, we won 12 games, won a couple playoff games, 14 altogether, and you sit there and you're like, man, this feels good to not be on the edge of my seat, not rocking back and forth, pacing the floor, digging a ditch with my feet. That's that it'd be nice to have that this year. We haven't had that once this year so far, early in the year. I don't think this game's going to be like that either. I don't think this game's going to be sitting back and we are going to be like just coasting for 4 quarters, up by 10, up by 13, like stuff like that. I don't think that. I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I would love it. I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't really think it's going to happen. And that's fine. That's fine, man. The old ticker can handle it. So I'm not too concerned. But I know Dallas is in for a dogfight. There's a lot of things Dallas does not do well. There's a lot of things they do well. Offensively, they don't run the football whatsoever. Dallas can't run the football. They're terrible running the football. Ezekiel Elliott's not the guy he was. He's complaining already, apparently, about not getting the ball enough. I don't think he's making static, but I just saw an article out there saying that he's kind of like chirping about his playing time and his carries. Then they got Rico Dowdell, who doesn't run the ball well. Deuce Vaughn, another little running back. They don't run the ball well. They just don't. But they got weapons. The aerial attack is legit. Even with guys like Brandon Cooks out. You got CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson. Look out for a kid. Jalen Tolbert. Look out for that kid. He's one of my. Every week I try to pick a guy out that the Lions are playing I'm like, look out for this guy. Tolbert's one of those guys. And they still got a pretty good old line. They still got a pretty decent old line. They got a young left tackle rookie, Tyler Guyton, who's been up and down, but has played very well, I think. They still got Zach Martin, who's been, who gets a lot of rest. He gets a lot of vet rest. Got the back issues, but he's still one of the best guards in the NFL. And Dak Prescott. We kind of rip on Dak too a lot, but he is a good quarterback. He's paid through the nose, just like a lot of these guys are, and they throw the ball extremely well. They find a way. Everybody knows you're not running on them. Everybody knows that the Cowboys are not running on you. And we still, and not just us, people still can't stop the pass. And they're not even 100% healthy. So that just tells you how talented they really are. They have some talent on offense. I like to rip them apart, but I'm not gonna bullshit you. That's a very talented offense. Throwing the ball, anyways. Running the ball, they can't do that for spit. They can't do anything like that. And then when it comes defensively, they're banged up. Some of their superstars are out. Lawrence, Micah Parsons, guy that I love. Kendrick's a really good, wily veteran that's been around a long time that gets the job done. They got a good secondary, but what you can do against that defense, you can run the ball down their throat. They're a little smaller up front. Mozzie Smith, one of their starting DTs, nose tackles, whatever we're calling him. He's a smaller interior lineman. You can run on these guys. Their linebackers are decent, but they're not great. And then when you got superstars out like Lawrence and Parsons, They can't pin their ears back as much as they want to and just attack the quarterback. They'll try to do that, but they're going to have to disguise a lot of things. They're going to have to disguise a lot of things to get to Goff. They're not just going to be able to blitz him because Goff will tear you apart if you just blitz him. If you blitz him and players aren't getting home, he'll tear you apart. But if you get the pressure on him, if he's feeling the pressure, then it's a little bit different. Goff, I think a lot of quarterbacks are like this, but Goff will melt down. Goff will melt down a bit. He'll throw the ball away a lot. He'll take sacks. He'll throw a pick or two. I think he's gotten better the last couple games here. We had that breaking out party against the Seattle Seahawks where we dropped like 42 points. Goff was perfect, literally perfect. And, the Goff will pick you apart if you give him the time. And everybody's healthy right now. Everybody's healthy. We got all kinds of – Ragnow's back on offense. J-Mo, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Laporta. Laporta caught a few balls last week. He hasn't even gotten going. What did I say? J-Mo, Khalif Raymond. Tim Patrick is looking like the wide receiver 3 that they were kind of looking for all spring. They were looking for this guy all spring. Like, we need a wide receiver 3. I thought it was going to be Donovan Peoples-Jones. I was wrong. Then Khalif Raymond had an opportunity. He kind of hasn't grasped that. He's more of a special teamer, kind of a gadget guy anyways. But Tim Patrick, he's a big wide receiver, older guy, getting more acclimated to the offense, looking good. I'm going to say hi to some guys. I see my boys in the building. 2011 is the last time we went to Dallas. 2011, man. That's crazy, Dom the Bandit. Thanks for that, brother. 2013, we won against them at home. I was at that game. I was actually at that game. That was the 300-yard-plus game for Kelvin Johnson. That was the game that Des Bryant came out and said he was better. He was better than Kelvin Johnson. I remember that game. I was at that game. That place, that Ford Field was literally shaking. That place was shaking. That was a fun time to be a Lions fan. They were the Cardiac Cats. They came back and last minute, Stafford doing his thing, did the fake spike, jumped in the end zone. So yeah. Mark Hopper's shoulders recovering. Lions will kick Cowboys' ass. Yeah, buddy. Let's get a star right there. Zakwa. Lions, no excuses. Lose this game. Cowboys are banged up. Run the damn ball. I agree, bro. I agree, Zakwa. If they don't run the football, there's really no excuse. Dallas can't stop the run. They played better against the run the last couple games, though. They played Devin Singletary, the Giants, and I don't think Najee Harris did too much against them against Pittsburgh in the Pittsburgh game. But they have played better against the run the last couple games. There's still a team that you can run on, though. Perry Ball. Hey, Xavier, what's going on, Mark? How you doing, brother? How you doing, Perry Ball? The problem with the Cowboys is if you bring the fight to them, get them up early, they don't know how to respond. They are front runners. You know what? We're going to have to put on at least 14 points right away. Go Lions, kick Dallas' ass. Roy Boy, what's going on, brother? Oh, my God, I got two San Francisco 49er fans in here. There's my boy Wakes in the house. You show up, you win, period. Big boy, what's going on, brother? How you doing, Wakes? Hey, man, your boys got on track. Your boys got on track yesterday, bro. Your boys got on track. I picked Seattle to win that football game. That's a big win for you guys. You guys needed that. You would have lost that game, you guys would have been in trouble. Here's Johnny. What up, though? What's going on, brother? Justin May, the rapper, obsessed Detroit Lions fan up in here from Rochester Hills, Michigan. Go Lions. Win us the Super Bowl before the day I die. I love it, brother. I got to get that put on my back as a tattoo, except for the Rochester Hills, Michigan. I'm not from there, but I like that. I like that saying, Justin May. Let's get the revenge in Dallas and win Lions. Absolutely, Justin. Absolutely, my friend. Najee Harris is horrible. He is horrible. He is horrible. He's one of the bigger running backs that runs very soft, it seems like. Every now and then he'll do one of those angry runs. Every now and then you'll see him on that angry runs on Good Morning Football. But he's a guy that just doesn't hit the hole like you would want a 225, 230-pound running back to hit. You know what I mean? He was good his first couple years. So, like, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. They don't have a good old line up in Pittsburgh either, though, bro. Remember that, Zaquan. But you are right. Najee Harris, man. You know, I like that other guy that they got running the football over there. Can't think of his name right now. What up? What up, Chrome? I like to see. Look at that C. It's on fire. I plan on making more New Lion songs soon. Hopefully, I can defend it then. One next, maybe one for 2023 North Championship. Put on my. Hey, bro, put it up, buddy. I'm subscribed. Everybody's subscribed to Justin May, the rapper. He does. He's a local rapper for the Detroit, for the Detroit community, and his channel is pretty cool, man. His channel is pretty cool. Does a lot of. I think you do a lot of guest appearances too, don't you? So that's cool, brother. But yeah, that was a big game, man. That was a big game for the 49ers yesterday. You guys watched that 49ers Seattle game. And if you're into fantasy football, there's a few guys that did really well in that game. My God. I went up against George Kittle. I went up in one league against George Kittle and Debo, I think it was. Yeah. They got like 47 points between the both of them. I had Kenneth Walker going in one league. That's what it was. And then I was going up against Kenneth Walker in another league too. And it's my boy Nicola. In two leagues, Nicola. He had a lot of guys going. So, yeah, man. But I put some points up with Kenneth Walker. He didn't get a lot of yards rushing. He did have a touchdown, but he caught a lot of it. Caught like eight, 9 balls. You could tell what was going on with that team, man. Seattle, Geno Smith didn't look very good. So I don't know what the hell was going on there. This NFC North is insane. Every team over 500. Hey, man, we talked about this, Zake. Well, we talked about this the last couple of years. We were like, soon to be, this NFC North is going to be good. You know, like Minnesota, it's funny. I talk about Minnesota a lot to a lot of Lions fans. They disrespect that team, bro. I don't know why they're disrespecting that team. Like, they're not the perfect team. They're not the perfect team. You could throw on them. But what they do really well is they get to the quarterback still, even though that pass defense gives up a lot of yards. They sack the quarterback, a lot of pressures, quarterbacks make mistakes. They don't let a lot of teams score on them. That's one thing they do. And they shut down the run, too. They're a better run defense than us, I think, right now. They're a really good football team. You know, everyone's like, Sam Darnold's going to come back down to earth. Maybe. But he's got so much. She has so many weapons there that I don't see a huge decline. Like, he's not going to keep up this pace where he's throwing for 3 touchdowns a game and doing all that stuff. You know, he's got like 12, 13 touchdowns on the year. But I don't think that continues. But what if it does? Like you know what I mean? Like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Hawkinson's coming back. They got a really good old line. You know, Aaron Jones, I think, a little bit banged up, but they have a good running game when healthy. They're not running the ball that well right now, but a couple of things they're doing exceptionally well, playing good defense, and they're pretty consistent on offense. You know, Darnold's doing his thing. They're not asking him to do a whole hell of a lot. You don't have to when you have all those weapons. Throw the ball up in the air. Justin Jefferson's going to get it. It's not like he's not going to get it. You know, Jordan Addison's doing his thing. Naylor, they got some young wide receivers there. Good tight ends. Hawk's coming back. So don't sleep on these Vikings, man. And then the Packers, they're in there because of their offense. They have a really good, you know, Jordan Love, you know, has kind of been up and down a little bit. He's won the last 1 or 2 games, though. He's playing better. The defense holds them in games, too. They got a very good defense. And then the Bears. The Bears got an exceptional defense, like a fantastic defense, the Bears. Even though their guys are dropping right now. Guys are getting hurt on that defensive unit. But they're still a good squad. You know, Caleb Williams has been playing better. You know, he's playing a little bit weaker teams, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's a rookie. You know, he's hanging in there. He's making plays. You know, he might bug a lot of people. It bugs the hell out of me. But hey, man, if that kid shows any signs of life, this NFC North, man, is not going to be easy every year. You know, it's not supposed to be. And I think that's good for football. But I think we're right in the mix. We're right there. We're a good football team. A lot of things remind me of last year, though. I got a little bit of PTSD about what's going on with this team. I still think our pass rush is terrible. It kind of reminds me of last year. We just lost Davenport. What are they going to do? Just James Houston? Come on. Levi and Ruzarike? I love what Levi's doing. But they're going to make him a full-time defensive end? Wingo, 6th-round draft pick? Mitchell Agude, Isaac Ukwu? What are you guys going to Holmes can't sit on his hands. And I think the secondary has gotten much better. I think our secondary, from where it was last year at this time to where it is right now, we've improved, but we still struggle in pass defense. We give up a lot of yards. I like Carlton Davis. I like Terrion Arnold, but they give up plays, man. They do give up plays. And I think a lot of that is because we don't have a pass rush. You got an animal in Aiden Hutchinson, okay? You got an animal, a full-on animal, who is probably one of the best premier defensive ends in the NFL. I think he's coming on to that level soon. I don't think he's there yet, but I don't think he's even scratched the surface of how good he can be. He's doing it a lot by himself. Now, don't get me wrong. Guys like Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, those guys are getting pushed from the inside. Even Levi when he plays inside. Levi can do both. Levi can play inside, outside. He can do a lot of good things. But if you look at it, man, they got a really stud defensive end in Hutchinson. And then they got guys that play the other side that I was told, and I was told this, and I was kind of upset when I heard this from a Lions fan, and I won't name names. He told me that, well, the Lions don't want a guy that's going to be just as dominant as Hutch. I'm like, what? I go, what does that? I go, what do you mean? And the guy's like, well, look at the players that are there. Look who's been there. John Kaminsky, a guy that sets the edge. A try-hard guy, plays the run well, a bigger defensive end, strong bull. You know what I mean? Just kind of holds up offensive linemen. Not going to really rush the passer. I'm okay. Josh Pascal, exact same as Kaminsky. A bigger defensive end, sets the edge, stands up old lineman, not a bevy of pass rush moves, won't be sacking the quarterback much, but plays the run well. That's what we kind of got. That's what we got. Then you got James Houston, who gets blown out in the run game, I think. He's kind of the only pass rusher we have. But that guy's literally has – I can't even describe what's going on with James Houston. I don't even know what's going on with him. Every week it seems like he is this closer to getting cut from the football team. He's one-dimensional, and he's not even doing that one thing he does well. Good. He's only dressing because of injuries. And he's not playing well whatsoever. Which sucks, because 2 years ago, the guy was considered the next Von Miller. I guess it was all smoke and mirrors, man. I know a lot of people didn't fall for it. I fell for it. I don't know how you can't fall for it. You go look at his backstory. Him playing at Florida, part-timer at Florida, didn't do a lot, but played in the SEC. Still played in a really good college program at Florida. Florida's no joke. You know what I mean? They haven't been great. They weren't great during his playing days a few years back, but still Florida. It's still a really, really good program, good college football program. But he was a part-timer there, played there for 3 years, moved out to Jackson State, entered the transfer portal, became an absolute superstar pass rush end. Superstar. 16.5 sacks, over 24 tackle for losses, strip sacks, fumble recoveries, just playing out of his mind. Ended up getting drafted because of it. 6th round by Detroit Lions. And then he took forever to get on the squad. It literally took guys like Penei Sewell and Decker and Ragnow saying, this guy is killing us. Why isn't he dressing? And finally, they dressed him on Thanksgiving, him as a rookie, and he had like two and a half sacks against Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't even know what the hell was going on. So, and then after that, they tried to make him a damn linebacker, which I thought was the biggest mistake in the planet. I thought that was a huge mistake, trying to make a guy like James Houston a linebacker, a cover linebacker at that. Like, if you're going to make him a linebacker, just limit him. Don't put him back in cover. Just not what he was. He wasn't good at Florida. What makes you think he was going to do it in the pros? Deion Sanders told him at Jackson State, "You're never setting foot as a linebacker on my team. We want to make you a rush end." And he was even like, "I don't want to do it, coach." There's footage of it. They did like a Hard Knocks with Jackson State Tigers a few years back during James Houston's last year. And he's in the office, and he's telling Prime, "I want to play linebacker, man." Prime's telling him, "You're not playing linebacker here, bro." He's like, "We love you, but you're never going to see a single snap as an actual linebacker in our program." There's video footage of it, man. If you want to go watch it, YouTube it. Deion Sanders talking to James Houston, whatever. There's footage of it. It's incredible footage. And I only seen the footage, and I think a lot of Lions fans only seen it, was because we drafted James Houston, and that's when it came out. I didn't know nothing about James Houston when he came out, man. There's not a lot of Lions fans that did. And if Lions fans are telling you that they remember James Houston during his college days, I am sorry. This is my opinion. They're lying through their teeth. Unless you are deep down studying. And maybe they are. But I know myself as a YouTuber and as a football fan, especially the NFL. I follow the college football. I'm not huge into college. I'm more into individual players. I didn't know who the hell James Houston was, man. I'm not going to sit there and blow smoke up you. You know what, man? I didn't know who James Houston was. But when I saw the numbers and then I look a little deeper, I'm like, whoa, man, this guy is special, even though he is playing at Jackson State. Smaller school. And it's one of those schools, man, not really known for their football programs. But he ended up getting drafted because of it, and he ended up looking like a stud. And, I'm talking too much about James Houston, but my whole point is we don't have a lot of depth, man. We don't have a lot of studs opposite Hutchinson. And I think that's a problem. I think our secondary has improved, though. So I would put our secondary a little bit above what our secondary was last year. Our secondary is still not complete, and it's still not that good. It's better, though. That makes any sense. Let's say hi to some other guys, man. Justin Chase in the house. Up, man. Gary Kessler, Lions office is getting in gear. I think so, too. Down the Bandit. Do you think the Lions are going to trade for someone? Devin White is available to sign, and he was a Pro Bowler. You know what? I don't understand why they haven't gone after Devin White already. No, I keep hearing about Devin White. PFF has graded this guy not one of the better linebackers over the years. And that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I think PFF is kind of all over the place. I don't really think PFF for me is not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not the gospel for me. But I will use it occasionally, time to time, negative or positive. I don't just look for positive things and say, "Oh, look, PFF said." No. I'll look at it as a negative, positive, but I don't use it as gospel. I like to use more, the eye test, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I never watched a ton of Tampa Bay games. I never, he never got on the field as a Philadelphia Eagle, Devin White. But I remember Devin White making plays. I do remember him making plays. One thing you talk about Devin White is that he's a tackling machine, okay? Can get to the quarterback a little bit. You don't want him dropping back in coverage too much. A little bit more of a throwback linebacker with a little giddy up to the quarterback. That's how I kind of describe him. He's not going to wow you. He's not going to wow you going, this guy is, this guy is Junior Seau all over the – no, there's nothing like that. But he can make plays. He can occasionally make that splash play, and he comes up big in big moments. He's a Super Bowl winner, Pro Bowl, like you said, second team All-Pro. Go get him. Philadelphia gave him $4 million. $4 million. And he didn't see the field. Now, apparently he got beat up by guys like the Kobe Dean, Zach Bond, those guys. Whatever. That's fine. Good players get beat out, you know. And then he was a healthy scratch for the last 2 weeks, I think, of the year. And he went up to them and was like, "Can you please trade me?" I guess they were trying to trade him for 2-3 weeks. No bites. Didn't get what they wanted, so they released him. They did him a favor and said, "Hey, man, go ahead. Like, someone will take it, someone will take it." It's not that he's I don't think he's a terrible person. The one thing I remember about Devin White, too, and I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. After they won the Super Bowl a few years ago, he was young. He's still young. He's 26. I remember it was a year that he might have made the Pro Bowl. He might have been a Pro Bowl. I remember in the interview they did with him, and he was like, "I'm going to be the next, like they're going to pay me quarterback money." I remember him saying that. I remember him saying, like, they're going to pay me money. They want me to stay around. He's like, and he wanted to stick around in Tampa. He wanted to be a Buccaneer for life, but he was like, they're going to have to pay me in a couple of years. He's like, I'm going to be that guy that's asking for $30+ million as a linebacker, which is completely unheard of. It's just you just don't pay linebackers that type of money. Like, obviously, there's linebackers that make money, but I remember him spouting off, and he's had a couple really good years, you know. But maybe that was one of the reasons why he didn't get paid. He was like, I want to get paid. They Philadelphia came in. They took him off their hands. I don't know if Philadelphia traded for him. I don't remember what that deal was. But anyways, Philadelphia gave him a 1-year prove-it deal, $4 million, 3.5 of it guaranteed, and he hasn't seen the field. And he still hasn't seen the field. And I hear, and you know, you look up, is there any bites going on? There's nothing going on with Devin White. So I don't know if he's just maybe he's a douchebag. Maybe he's a douchebag. Maybe he's a guy that I'm only coming there as if you pay me. Like, I'll come, but you're giving me more than $3-4 million. You're paying me. And teams might be saying, well, you know, we're not paying you, bro. Like, we'll give you a few $1 million. Prove that you can stay here, be a teammate, be a good teammate, be productive, be a reason why we're good. And then maybe we'll be one of the reasons why we're good, and then maybe we'll give you some money. So maybe he's just a douchebag. I don't know, but he's a guy that I think the Lions should be at least calling up and saying, hey, because he's an upgrade. We just lost Barnes. It doesn't look like Barnes is coming back for 2024. The way he's talking and the way Campbell's talking, we'll be lucky to get him back in December, maybe in the new year when we're in the playoffs. Maybe that's what they mean by 2025. But I don't expect them back. Go get him. I think they're kind of similar. You know, I don't think Barnes is a very good pass cover linebacker, even though he had that big pick against Baker last year. He's not known for dropping back into coverage, but I think he's gotten better at it. Devin White, he might be a guy that is just, you know, rotational, but he's a guy that's going to make the occasional play. He's going to sack the quarterback. He's going to strip sack somebody. He's going to play the run at a decent pace. I think he's an upgrade over guys like Rodriguez and, you know, Ben Neiman, Trevor Nowaski. Like, I think he's an upgrade of those guys. All those three guys though, Rodrigo, Nowaski, Ben Neiman, they all play special teams. And that's what Holmes and Campbell worship. They worship that. Like, they would rather go for a guy that's not as talented, but can play multiple positions over a guy that is more talented, but is kind of like one-dimensional, just, you know, and he's like a little bit of a douche. They won't go for the guy that's more talented. They'll go for the guy that's more team-oriented, which is fine. But sometimes they just won't go for the more talented player. They'll go for they'd rather have 1, 2, 3 guys that can kind of do a little bit of everything than go for the one guy that can do mostly one good thing really well. So I just don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I think he'd be an upgrade. But maybe it just doesn't fit their scheme, doesn't fit me. I don't know, man. It bugs me though. As a Lions fan, it bugs me. But then again, I'm not a guy that wants everybody to come to Detroit when everybody gets dropped. I'm not the guy going on the internet typing away my little fingers when every single player gets dropped. This guy got dropped, got to go get him. This guy gets dropped, got to go get him. But this is one guy I think the Lions should at least bring in the building and just feel him out. Put some feelers out on the guy. Get in his head. Go, what's up with you, man? You're 26 years old. Why are you sitting in my office? Like, why are you in my office? Tell me why you're in my office right now. Well, you should be playing for either the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Philadelphia Eagles. Because you put up decent numbers. You're a pretty good linebacker. You're not great. But tell me why you're sitting in my office. That would be a question that I would ask. Tell me why, bro. Why are you sitting here in front of me? Well, you should be out in practice in Philly or Tampa Bay. And if he can't answer that question, see ya. Like, you know what I mean? If he can't answer that question and I think I can read somebody pretty good, and I'm looking at him and he's telling me a story, if I don't trust it, get out of here. It's just honest truth. You should be truthful. Because there's got to be a reason why he's not playing. There's got to be a reason why, because he's not a bad player. So it's either he's a bad teammate, wants too much cash, and he's spouting off. Maybe he's a cancer. It could be some things, man. Because 26 years old, you're pretty productive. You got over 120, 130 tackles a year for the last year. He didn't do it because he missed 3-4 games, but he was well on his way to over 100 plus. Prior to that, the guy's getting 4, 5, 6 sacks. He had a 9-sack season once, 4-sack, 5-sack, 2-sack, 3. Like he can make plays. It's just weird to me that he's not playing, but I'd take a shot on him. At least bring him in the office and have a meeting with him. You bring Aaron Glenn in. You bring in who's our linebacker coach? I feel bad. He went to LSU, man. Played for the Lions. He played for us. Feel bad. Got the dreads. I can't even think. I feel bad. Anybody remember his name? He's our linebacker coach, man. He's young, super young. Played at LSU. I think he coached at LSU. Played for the Lions. But I would sit him. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, linebacker coaches, and study this kid and go, you're 26 years old. Tell me why you're sitting in front of me right now. Do you want to play football? Like it almost feels like you don't. Why are teams releasing you? Why are teams releasing you? You're talented. Say something. You know what I mean? Say something, bro. So I don't know. I just, I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm all in on a Devin White signing. Yeah, I'm all in. You don't got to fix the kid. You just got to tell him, man, this is what your role is going to be. I have a lot of new songs on that came up this year. Awesome, brother. Mark, hope your healing has come along, bro. It's coming along, my friend. Thank you, brother. Surgery. Yeah, Friday I had it. In and out patient. In and out, man. I was out for 5-6 hours. The whole day, Don't remember even getting the surgery. Obviously, I was out cold. Last thing I remember is the guy. What was he saying to me? He made a joke. I forget what it was. I kind of forget. But last thing, then I just woke up. That's the last thing I remember. Waking up, boom. I'm like, oh man. So it was interesting, man. Teams will show their true selves second half of the season. Hey, that's the nitty gritty, buddy. What's up, Mark? I haven't seen you in a while. Patty Grimes, what's up, my friend? Been a while. I'm going to try to make this a regular thing. I always say it, and I never come through, but there's always got some dumb excuse. What's the chance the Tigers win tomorrow? It's a 60% chance, bro. 60, 70%. With Skubal on the mound, man, it might even be more. I just don't want to sound too much like a homer. I don't know who's going for them tomorrow. Is it Boyd? Is Boyd pitching for them tomorrow? What's going on with Kerry Carpenter? I know he pulled up with a hamstring. Hinch won't play him against lefties though, which makes sense because he can't hit lefties. So it's going to be interesting, man. But with Skubal out there, 60 to 70% chance. Like, there's a guy, there's a buddy of mine that wants to bet me $200 that Detroit loses tomorrow. $200 he wants to bet me. And I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? I got the money. It's just it's like $200. If I lose the money, it just sucks. But I think they got a great chance. I wish that game was at home. But Scuba will be on. He'll be pumped. He'll be ready to rock. And I heard Jake Rogers is a little bit hurt too. So is he playing tomorrow? That concerns me as well. Rooting for Houston, but not a cult follower. I get it. Here's Johnny. Hey man, there's a lot of cult followers for James Houston. He can do no wrong. He's Von Miller. He's Bruce Smith. He's Junior. People just they're like, come on, man. This guy's not playing for a reason. His Pro Bowl year, they graded him a 36 overall, which is weird. Yes, that's terrible. PFF. That's why I can't take PFF. That's one of the reasons why I can't take him serious. I know Pro Bowl is more of a fan vote. Majority of it is. How does a guy get into the Pro Bowl if he's making plays, and how does he get a 36 overall? That's passing. That's pass defense and run defense. How? That doesn't make any sense. It's weird, right, Dom? Are you with me on that? For sure, brother. What's up, Mark? Good to hear your show tonight, buddy. Thanks a lot, James. Thanks a lot. Going to do about an hour. Started at 7, so we'll try to get an hour and then some. Donkey Kong, let's go Tigers. Tigers win as a lock. So are you telling me, Donkey Kong, that I need to make that bet? You telling me I need to make that bet? 200 bones? 200 bones? Man, it'd be nice, man. The only one who can kill Barnes is Barnes. Full Metal Jacket. The only one who can kill Barnes is Barnes. I remember that Gallup in Lake 6. Who was the guy that said that? I love that guy's voice, man. The only one who can kill Barnes is Barnes. That guy was a madman. That's a great movie, Full Metal Jacket. I should put that one on tonight, man. But no, this is a big game for the Lions, guys. This is a huge game. Like I said, this team I think is a very, very, very similar to what they were last year. Extremely, almost to the point of a little bit that it's a little bit scary. I think the running game is going to be better. I think production-wise, it's going to be Montgomery and Gibbs. They're on a really, really big time streak if they stay healthy, like numbers wise. Like Montgomery's already looking at three something 100 yards, right? Gibbs is up there. Touchdowns, they're scoring touchdowns at will. Like these guys stay healthy, man. They're hitting 3, 6, 9, 12. They're hitting 12, 1,300 yards each. I think Gibbs is going to end up with more yards down the stretch. I think he will. I think Montgomery's just going to keep piling up touchdowns, but so is Gibbs. Like they're going to score double-digit touchdowns. This duo is phenomenal. Our running back duo is phenomenal. And there's people out there that don't trust it still, which is crazy to me. This is a team that's going to put up 25 touchdowns as a running unit, probably, and well over 2,000 yards if they stay healthy. But we know guys like Montgomery misses 3-4 games a year, but he looks like a man possessed. He looks like a man possessed, David Montgomery. He doesn't look normal this year. He's running for purpose. He's on a mission because he knows he misses time. He probably wants to stay healthy so bad, just not for his own doing, but for his teammates. I can't lean on this show, so I can't lean on his shoulder, man. So, yeah, Thunder and Lightning. I guess they came up with a new nickname. I guess Sonic and Knuckles. That's what they're calling them now, Sonic and Knuckles, from like Sonic the Hedgehog. which I think is fantastic. I think is a perfect combination nickname right there. But these guys are putting up astronomical numbers, and then you just got everybody. J-Mo looks like he's gonna easily surpass 1,000 yards. It's early, but it looks like he's gonna do it. 50-something catches, 60 catches, close to double-digit touchdowns. There's going to be games where J-Mo doesn't have like a great game. He's had one of those games. He's had 3 great games though. So, and Amon-Ra's doing his thing. Obviously, man, Amon-Ra is going to do his thing, and Laporta even hasn't gotten going. Tim Patrick looks like a guy that is starting to really get involved in the offense as that wide receiver big 3 that they're looking for. So, yeah, you know what? He needs more targets, but I'm not going to sit there. I got into an argument with a guy. Surprise, surprise. Me getting into an argument with someone online. I was getting into it yesterday with a guy, and there was an article. There was an article out, and it was an article saying, what do you guys think about the production wise for J-Mo? Are you guys happy? Pretty much asking that question, like, to the fan base. Are you happy with his production? Should he be getting more targets? This and that. Majority said that they're happy with what he's doing. He hasn't done nothing for 2 years. Year 3, okay, there was a lot of roadblocks going on in year 1 and year 2. And I'm not putting it all on J-Mo. I'm not. He was hurt. The suspension, I'll blame him, as even though it was a dumb suspension, but that is his fault though. But being hurt, I can't put that blame on him, right? Year 3, no distractions. He's relatively healthy. He's banged up a little bit here and there, but nothing to be worried about. He's producing. Right now, he's producing. He's projected to catch like 50-something balls, 1,100 plus yards, and like 8 touchdowns. That's what he's projected to do right now. Now, those numbers are they going to be like that all year? No. It's going to go up and down. It's going to fluctuate. It's going to go down, up. You know what I mean? Who knows? But he is looking like the guy that the Lions took in the first round, at least in spurts, right? At least in spurts. So there was a guy coming in here saying, some guy that goes on, a guy that is a really good guy. Talk to him all the time, and it got actually pretty stupid. It actually the argument got stupid. It just did, and it's like he was like, oh, if he was an LA Ram, he's an LA Ram, he'd have 8 touchdowns, 900 yards by now. If he was with Aaron Rodgers, he'd be 700 yards and 6 touchdowns and 40 catches. I'm like, okay, well, I go, and then I chimed in. I go, that's all well and good, but the Rams are 1-4. The Jets are 2-3. They just fired their head coach. Who cares about numbers really when they're winning? When they're winning, I personally don't. If we were 1-3 right now, and this conversation came up, are you happy about J-Mo's production? I tell you right now, I'm happy with his production, even if we were losing. He's had 3 good games. He's had 1 game where he didn't get targeted. I think he got targeted once or twice, caught 1 ball. Like he hasn't done. He's had 3 really good football games out of 4. And I think that's what you want for your wide receiver 2, your first-round pick. You want that. And we're winning football games. So I'm not going to make a big deal of, I understand where you're coming from. Galloping, what's it called? Dom the Bandit. J-Mo needs more targets. Fine. But is it really not necessarily when we're winning? You're not that worked. I don't know if you're worked up over it. I'm asking you a question. Does it bother you that much? Because we are winning. We are 3-1. Should be 4-0, by the way. Should be. But our offense couldn't do a thing against the Buccaneers. We put a lot of yards on the board, but yards don't count when it comes to scoring. We couldn't score against the Buccaneers. We should have beat the Buccaneers at home by 20 points. We should have beat them. We should have. But we didn't. We scored 16 points at home. Defense played out of their minds. Baker made some throws that game. Godwin's the only one who really did a lot of damage against us through the air. Baker, too, because he's the quarterback, obviously. Baker made some late runs, had a touchdown run. It was literally the Baker. It was the Baker and the Godwin show. And we couldn't do nothing. We should have put 30 points on that team at home. Holding a team to 20 points on when you're at home and they're obviously on the road and they're coming into your building and you lose is embarrassing. It's an embarrassing loss. It was an embarrassing, and a lot of dumb shit happened in that game with the botched kick at the end of the first half. Campbell not getting him out there in time. Dave Phipp all confused. Special team guys running out. Guys trying to run back in. Too many men on the field. It's just a shit show. That's just a shit show. That's on everybody. Goff never should have threw that ball with like 10 seconds left. And then, and then St. Brown tried to, he tried to sit it down, no timeouts. It was just a gong show from the beginning. Now, I'm not going to be too upset. We should be 4-0. But when that article came out yesterday, it kind of bothered me a little bit because he's producing. Like, he's not on his way to catch 80 balls and 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns, but he's well on his way to having a good football year. Finally having no distractions, nothing going on, no injuries. He's producing, and we're winning the football and winning. I think winning is the best part of it. If we were losing, I could see this conversation being a little bit more important. Like, he needs more targets. They got to get him going. Even though I think he's gotten going pretty much what he is. This is what he is. I truly don't think, and this is not a diss. This is not any type of backhanded compliment towards or any type of bad thing to say about JMO. I don't think he's a wide receiver one in this league. I don't. I think he is borderline wide receiver one. He is a great number two. He's electric with the ball in his hands. Now, I'm not saying he can't ever be that guy. Maybe it'll happen, but I think what he is a guy that is going to be lower volume. I think he's going to be lower volume, but when he gets the ball in his hands like he did against the Seattle Seahawks, he caught 2 balls for 80 yards and a touchdown. Now, I'm not saying he only needs to be the ball thrown to him 2 times a game. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I don't think he's a guy that is going to take over a football game in crunch time. Like, I don't think he's going to be that. I don't think he's Amon-Ra St. Brown. I really don't. And that's not a diss, man. That's no type of diss. That's no type of backlash. That's nothing. I think he's a great wide receiver. I just don't think he's wide receiver one. Now, he's got the talent to be a wide receiver one. I just don't think it's him. I think he's a guy that's gonna be, he's electric with the ball in his hands. And I'm not calling him a gadget guy. I'm not saying, he can just run straight. Nothing like that. I'm just saying every time he touches the football, he can go 80 yards. It's just that we've seen it. Nobody's catching the kid. I just don't think he's a wide receiver one, and that's not a bash, man. I hope people don't take that to insult, because it's not even an insult, man. Like, I know people will. That's rude, man. That's ignorant. I'm like, no, it's nothing to do with that, man. Like, I think a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's clutch. Like, Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's 3rd and 8. It's 3rd and 8. It's 3rd and 9. There's 2 minutes to go. We've seen him do it. We've seen him do it since his rookie season, pretty much. Who is Goff looking for? He's looking for St. Brown to get 9 yards when you need 8. Nothing flashy. Over the middle. Finds the soft zone. He'll sit between 2 defenders. I think a guy like JMO is not that type of guy. And I don't want people to think that I'm not calling him stupid. I'm not calling him I'm not saying he isn't football intelligent. I just don't think he's that guy. He's just a guy that when you get the ball in his hands, he can be gone in a heartbeat. And I think that's a good thing to have, man. He's a phenomenal compliment to St. Brown. I think he's a great compliment because they're two completely different wide receivers. Like I can see Amon-Ra, I can see J-Mo having more touchdowns than Amon-Ra. I could see J-Mo having 15 touchdowns in a year. And almost on the regular, 12 to 15. I could see it. Even though Amon-Ra has done that, he scored 10, 12 last year. So it's just Zaquan said it right there. Too many weapons. There's nothing wrong with having too many weapons. Hottest house. You all night to the stream. Ooh, how about them Lions? Hottest house. Let's give you a star, brother. I'm glad we winning. I would just like to see more J-Mo. He's electric with to get the ball. I agree. Our run game is so electric, though. We don't need to pass much. The Seattle game was perfect. That was a perfect example. It was a perfect example, man. People don't understand that. The haters will come out and say, well, Goff only threw the ball this many times. Well, we don't need him throwing the ball. We don't want Goff throwing the ball 50 times. We don't need that. We don't want that. We want to be able to run the football 30 times in a game. That should be always the goal. The goal should be 30 times running the football in a game for the Lions. And that's not disrespect to Goff. That's not saying I don't trust him. It's just saying we are fantastic running the football. Beat down defenses. You can beat down a defense. You make Goff's job a lot easier. Anybody's job you make easier. Only so many players you get the ball between St. Brown, Williams, Laporta, Gibbs, McGregor. Not everyone's going to have insane games as long as it's not forced. Who cares? Exactly, bro. That's exactly what my point is. Zaquan, start up. I love it. Exactly. And then don't forget guys like Tim Patrick, Khalif Raymond. Those guys are going to catch 20, 30 balls in a season. Tim Patrick, I think he's going to be the next. If he can stay healthy, he could be the next Josh Reynolds. I think he's got more skill. I think his skill set is better. It's just that he's older. He's a little bit more beat up. Patrick stays healthy. Man, this offense is I think it's starting to shine now. We saw it last week, man. We've seen it the past little bit. I think even in their down week, the offense was still, you can see it a little bit better, especially with the Patrick chemistry, getting more targets, getting the ball in his hands, running the ball better. You know what I mean? I think it's so balanced. I think this offense it's extremely balanced. I think you run the ball a little bit more, and it's even better. I think the goal is to run the ball 30 plus times for this team. And once they get into that range of 30 plus carries, we're winning football games. It's just that simple. Because teams aren't going to be able to stop us. Then now they don't know what's coming. Is the pass coming? Are they running the ball? We can't stop the run. We can't stop these guys from running down our throats. Their O-line's too good. The running backs run too hard. They're too fast. We have a huge luxury with this offense, man. A huge luxury. People like to diss it because Goff doesn't run, and that's fine. I think that's pure ignorance from a lot of fans. This is a top-notch offense through the board. I just did the work on the Cowboys game. They're top 10 in everything, guys. They're top 10 in everything. Here. I just did it. I don't know if I'm going to do the video today, but I do a thing called NFL rankings. If you guys see my stats, you guys talk, I talk about my numbers. I can't see it because got that weird setting on, but okay. Right there. But anyways, I got to fix that. So somehow. But the NFL offensive, this is just for starters, guys. This is just, I do a little thing on NFL stats for my preview every week, and I do an NFL rankings. And I do offense, defense. And I do, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 9 categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yards a game, rush per game, per rush, passing per game, QBR, sacks, third down percentage, possession a game, and points per game. We're 397 total yards a game, third in the NFL. Rush. We're rushing for 151.2 yards a game. That puts us at 7th in the NFL. Per rush, 4.7 yards, tied for 9th with a few teams. Passing, 245.8 yards per game, 7th in the NFL. QBR, 98.6. That's 9th in the NFL. Sacks, we've only given up 7 sacks as an offensive line. That's Goff, too. That's everything. That's tied for 3rd in the NFL. Third down percentage. So us turning a third down into a first down percentage, 45.8%. So we're turning third downs into first downs. Top 5. We're 5th in the NFL. Possession, 31 minutes, 35 minutes a game. Average is what we're holding onto the ball as an offense. That's 9th in the NFL. And points per game, 26 points per game, puts us at 7th in the NFL. We are top 10 in basically every single category. Top 5 and a lot too. And people want to rip on Goff? Come on. I know he's getting help. I'm not saying he doesn't get help, man. They all do. There's not a quarterback in the NFL, and I'm talking guys like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, that wouldn't die to have the weapons like this. I know Mahomes has got all the accolades. He's got all the Super Bowls. I'm not even saying all that. I'm not saying he'd rather switch organizations. I'm not even saying that. It's not what I'm saying. But if you imagine a guy, and this is not, and again, this is not a bash. This is not a bash on Goff. But could you imagine a Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow? Well, Burrow's doing well in Cincinnati. They just don't have a defense. But can you imagine Mahomes in this offense? Can you imagine him having a run game? Can you imagine him having this in Kansas City? That's all I'm saying. And it's not a bash on Goff like I'd rather have, but let's be real. Goff is not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Joe Burrow, and I don't think he's Josh Allen. I really don't. And that's not a knock on him. But there isn't a quarterback in the NFL that would not want to have our offense. There isn't. They might tell you something different, but I tell you right now, man, if you could look into that man's eyes, you could read his soul, and you would know. I know quarterbacks envy this offense. They envy it, and I don't see why they wouldn't. Too many weapons, Zaquan. Start up. Maybe if we get 600 yards off, everyone will eat. You'd say, fuck. I think we had what? We had 480 last game. I think it was 480, 500 last game. You know what I mean? Everybody ate that game. Everybody ate that game, though. Everybody ate. Amon-Ra ate. J-Mo ate. Gibbs Montgomery ate. Tim Patrick had 52 yards. Laporta, 4 or 5 catches, 50-something yards. Everybody had a good game in that last game. But our offense is it's a special offense, man. It really is. And it's going to be a team. It's going to be a game. It's going to be one of those teams that they're going to be very reminiscent of last year. They're going to score 30, 27, 30 points a game. That's enough to where you should be winning football games. And then our defense has to hold. And that's what makes me nervous, because I see a lot of the same similarities of last year that I see this year. I think we're better in the secondary, or better pass defense anyways. Our pass rush is still abysmal, though. It still is abysmal. We have one guy that does it on a consistent basis. That has to change. That has to change. We play the run very well, not as well as last year, but we're still a top 10 unit playing the run. I believe we're 4th. We're 4th in the NFL, 90.8 yards per game. And I think the Cowboys are like, they give up on 35. They're like 23rd. Man, we got to run that damn football and get down their throats. So that's it, guys. Like, that's it, man. I think this is going to be an offensive game. I think we're going to struggle to stop them. We're going to struggle to stop them through the air. Hutch is going to have to come up with some big plays during this game, second half especially. Who's going to get home besides Hutch? That's what makes me nervous, man. That's what makes me nervous. And now they're looking for any reason to throw a flag against us now. You got Carlton Davis coming out too, running his mouth about how bad the officiating was. That's a bad look. That's a stupid look. It's actually, you guys know, man. You guys know if you played sports and you did shit like that, if you ever got interviewed, man, and like you played football and you ever you get interviewed sometimes after a really good game when you played football. It happened to me a few times when I was in high school. You happened to me a few times when I played AKO. Just a step above high school. If you have a good game, you're going to get bashed if you rip on or they're going to come after you if you rip on the referee, if you rip on refs. They'll get you the next game. They might not throw every single flag against you, but they're going to be like, you know what? This mother bleeper wants to run his mouth. I'm throwing a flag on him. And he didn't even have to do shit. I'm still throwing a flag on him. It happens, man. If you guys don't think it happens, it does. So you're better off not saying a damn word about the referee. Because Carlton Davis never should have came out and said that. Now, I'm not saying our season is doomed because Carlton Davis ran his gumps. But keep your voice down, Carlton. You guys are pulling. You guys are a physical secondary. You got Arnold out there literally tackling guys. And he is. Now, is every play, is every foul or flag, is every flag legit? No, it's not. And I'm not saying they're targeting Terrion Arnold, but they're looking for it now because he's a kid and he has a huge problem with it. Fix it. And that's all up to him. And then Carlton Davis, man, he was going after referees in that Seattle game. He had to be separated, I think, twice in that football game. I think he put his hands on one referee. I think he might have just grabbed him by the shoulder. I forget what it was. But he might have put his hands on somebody. How he didn't get tossed from that game was beyond me because he was acting like a freaking psycho. And Seattle was smart because on the one play where he was acting completely unhinged, it was a penalty. And I think it was a bad penalty. If I can remember correctly. It was a bad penalty. They flagged Carlton Davis. He lost his marbles, literally lost his marbles. And next thing you know, the next play was like a sweep to the outside with, I think, Kenneth Walker. What does Carlton Davis do? He doesn't contain his man because he's so hot. He's so hot from the play before. He's so hot from 2 minutes prior, but he can't think straight. So he's literally like all over the place. He kind of busted inside. He doesn't contain this guy. They talked about it on the radio. Shannon Sharp, actually, in Chad Ochocinco, talked about it the next day or the night of that Monday Nighter on their podcast. I forget the hell what their podcast is called. But they got a podcast. I'm subscribed to it. But they even talked about it. They were like, Shannon Sharp was like, he was so hot, he was so bothered, he couldn't think, he was seeing red, that Seattle went right after him the very next play. And he gave up an easy touchdown to Kenneth Walker. Easy. So, got to be smarter. Got to keep your head in the game. Don't go after the refs, man. Because I'm not making any excuses, but they're going to be looking this Monday or this Sunday afternoon for this crap. They are. Run the ball more. Absolutely, JDC. Slow start, but last game we finally picked things up 100%. We needed that. We need a defensive end still to help Hutch. I hope it's coming, man. I really do. Trey Henderson, that's my guy. That Max Crosby thing is delusional at best. Delusional. Don't think Max Crosby's coming here, guys. I just can't. I would. There's a 0.0001% chance that that's happening. I'm not saying don't go after a guy. There's other guys. There's got to be other guys. Trey Hendrickson would be a guy. If the Bengals keep losing, go throw some money at him. Go throw a little bit of money. You don't got to give up a ton of draft capital, even though he is a good player. You might have to give up a third round, a future third, a future fourth. Do it. Hassan Reddick, do it. I don't care. But do something. Something's got to be done. Yeah, I think Wingo's been good for a 6th-round pick, bro. I got no complaints about Wingo. Wingo's kind of been thrown into the fire a little bit because of some injuries and stuff like that. You know, he's had some pressures. He's given up some containment, though. He's one of those guys that gets a little bit too pins his ears back a little bit too much and loses a little bit self-control. But he's made some plays. Levi's been finally we're getting to see Levi, man, after all these years. You know, this is a guy that I thought that could come in here and just do what he's doing. Pressure the quarterback, make some plays in the run game, get a sack or two. You know, I think right now he's gotten a sack in every game, a half a sack in every game this year. I think he has. He might have 2 sacks on the year in 4 games. Now that's good. You keep that pace up, bro. We're looking at 8-9 sacks, and I'm fine with that, man. And I think that's a type of guy that we were hoping he could be. That was fun watching that match below with DK. Gave me Lattimore and Evans vibes. They were going on. It was physical. It was extremely physical, man. It was very physical, and DK is not to be toyed with, man. That guy is a man amongst boys. A man amongst boys. He is a giant human being. He is a giant, and he runs like a goddamn gazelle. Like he does. He's a rhinoceros running like a gazelle. Not fair. Injury report. Everybody's healthy for the Lions. You know, I'll be doing my preview. Obviously, guys like Barnes, Melifonwu on IR, those guys are out. But the Lions, bro, the only guy that's out, like really considered out right now, is rookie guard Christian Mahogany. Like he's still coming down off that illness, but he had a full practice Friday, but he's out. So he's probably going to be back next week. That's my guess, is that Mahogany's back. But Branch had an illness. He's full practice. He's a go. Kirby Joseph kind of had a couple injuries a little bit. He had a back thing going on this week. Then he hurt his hamstring on Wednesday or Thursday, but he was a full practice. He's going. Then Ragnell's back from that half torn pec. Full practice. He's going. So the whole team is pretty much good. Like, you know, obviously, but like I said, with Barnes, Melifonwu, those type of guys are out like right now, which is big, but we're healthy going into this football game. Relatively healthy. You know, offensively, we're clean from top to bottom. Defensively, couple guys on defense, but you know, and then the Cowboys are completely banged up. Real banged up, man. You shouldn't lose this football game, man. We shouldn't lose it. But I'm going to drink this beer, guys, and then I'm done. 1 beer, that's it for the night. It's not going down good. But, yeah, man, we're at about an hour and 18 minutes. We'll probably get to about an hour and 30 by the time this is done. And I'm going to go upstairs and hang out with the family, man. But this is a game that, you know, the Cowboys really need this game because the Washington Commanders are no joke. They're 4-1. They have a shot to beat the Baltimore Ravens this week. Imagine that. They go up to 5-1. So Giants are playing a little bit better football, even though they're a bad team. They're playing a little better. I think they won the last 2 out of 3 games, I want to say. So, you know, they're playing better ball. And then, you know, who else is in that division? Philadelphia, they're up and down. You don't know what you're going to get week to week with that team. But there'll be a team that'll probably win 8 games, 7-8 games, like, right? So The Cowboys, they need this win. This is a huge game for Dallas. Huge. It's a huge game for Dallas, and that kind of worries me. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Never have been. I can't stand conspiracy theorists. I think majority of them are off the wall crazy. That's just my opinion. Because I actually have buddies that are conspiracy theorists, and I love them to death. But they worry me. They worry me with their line of thinking. Yeah. But anyways, man. But this is a game that I just hope, and I don't hate to be the guy. The refereeing. I don't want to be that guy. Just beat the Cowboys, man. Oh, wow. Wow. Just beat the Cowboys, please. Beat the boys. That's all I want. Beat them. So I got some buddies that I need to troll. I got some buddies that I need to troll. And I think we're going to win that football game. Prediction, I won't give the prediction yet because I'm going to do that for my preview, which I'm either doing tonight or I'm going to do tomorrow. Probably tomorrow during the day. I got some things I got to take care of, and then I'll have that out because I got it all written out. Everything's good to go when I talk about it and all that shit. So, but hey, man, this is going to be a good football game. Really, Zakwa? Cowboys haven't won at home yet? That is weird, bro. We can't be the first ones, man. We can't be the first ones to give it up. To give up that first dub. We're winning tomorrow, guys. I mean Sunday. We're winning on Sunday, man. I think we're going to win that football game. I think we're going to win it, man. We're not going to blow them out of the water because Dallas always seems to just hang in there. We hang in there too. This is a revenge game. Not a lot of people don't like the term revenge game, but it basically is. So let's just win this fucking football game. Sorry I swore, but let's just win it, man. Let's just win it. I think we're going to put some points on the board. We're going to score over 30 points. They're going to give us a run. They're going to give us a run though, okay? And we just got to make some timely stops. They're not running on us. They're throwing. Stop it. Just stop it, man. It's going to be hard to stop guys like CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson. Those type of guys, man, they can hurt you. They can hurt you big time. Let's go. Your Cowboy friend, Ashley. Well, rest in peace to Ashley. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace. Sorry to hear that. Saquon, let's go. Yes, sir. T-Bone. Don't worry. Lions, remember what happened last year in Dallas? That game cost us home field for the NFC Championship. It did too, man. Oh, man. That sucks, eh? That's for sure it did? Man, that's rough. But one more swallow, guys. I'm pretty much done here. Well, thank you guys, man. It was a quick one. I haven't done one in a while. Hour and 24 minutes coming up on. I appreciate you guys coming in a Friday night. A little bit of I got to do this once every week. I got to somehow stick to my guns and find a way to do it every week. There's always something that comes up, though, but I will try. I really appreciate you guys coming in here, man. Go Lions. Detroit versus everybody. We got this. Everybody stay safe on a Friday. Don't jump in your cars. If you're drinking, call an Uber, call a cab, call a buddy. Something. Don't get in your car and drive. But you know what? One beer chat time, man. Absolutely, JDC. One beer chat time. Thanks a lot, guys. Go Lions. I will see you in the preview next week. No, tomorrow. I'll see you in the preview tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I really appreciate you guys, man, coming. It's going on, Eric. What's going on, brother? What's going on? Later, Zakwa. You guys have a good night. Stay safe, man. Go Lions.